Hey everyone, Jim T. Graham with RCGroups.com. I can't believe it's Thursday, man. It was Monday. The weekend was just mere seconds ago. Jason Cole, what's happening?
What's up, man?
Let's not talk. You know, last week we went straight into personal details. Let's save that for later, and let's go straight into RC. Matt Gunn is out. He'll be here any second. I know what he's doing. It's probably not podcast relatable. But let's talk to Jason Cole. Jason, you are packing to go to Croatia to be on a TV show called Drone Wars.
That's right.
So what I want you to tell everyone out there, okay, it looks like it did go live this time on time because we have some live viewers popping up. Hopefully we get some more here in a second. But you're going to a foreign country that you've never been to. You're going to compete in a drone quadcopter TV show. What have you packed?
A lot, actually. So they've kind of been emailing us, and I don't know how much detail I can really go into, but and we don't know what the challenges are, so there's a lot of ambiguous, just figuring stuff out here. But so I've packed like my charger.
Right. First, tell us what it is, as far as you know.
As far as what is the show?
What is? It's a TV show, and what's it about?
It's a TV show. It'd be on like Discovery, Science Channel, Sci-Fi, one of those techie stations in the U.S., and it'll be aired internationally as well. The show is kind of like it seems like it's going to be like Junkyard Wars. If anybody remembers that show, it was an awesome show where they had crews that would go out to a junkyard and they'd give them a challenge. They'd scavenge parts from the junkyard, build whatever the thing is, and then complete the challenge with it against another team. It sounds like it's real similar to that, where we'll get a challenge on the first day, or our objective, or whatever that is, from the hosts, and we have the rest of that day to kind of design, order some parts, get started building with a CNC machine and 3D printer on site. And then the second day is a full build day, so we get to really fine-tune, finish building, test it out, make sure we're happy with it. And then the third day of filming is the competition part of that episode, where we compete against one or more teams even, I don't know. And then if you lose, you're out, I guess, and if you win, you keep going, and you film another episode the next 3 days doing the same thing. So pretty excited about that.
So that's what it is. Now, knowing all that you know, being the awesome pilot that you are, what did you stick in your bag?
So I have got my DX9 radio. I didn't want to risk my Jetty radio, although that would be cool to be using the Jetty radio with all the options.
I'm going to step in here and say something to you as a friend. I know you wanted to use the Glyphs, and if you said, hey, I have a show in Oshkosh or somewhere, I would hand them right on over. It's not you. I don't trust any airline. I don't trust the TSA. I don't trust any of that stuff with these awesome goggles. So that's the only reason I didn't pass them along.
Yeah, I didn't want to bring my Jetty. I didn't want to risk it because it's got to go in my check bag, and anything can happen. So I've got my DX9 in there, which is still an awesome radio. It's going to do a lot. It's going to be great for this, right? So I've got that. I've got like my IMAX Duo B something 306 charger, the killer charger. Got a power supply. It's rated for 240 volts. So I've got travel adapters. I've got a bunch of my tools, my socket wrenches, my Allen head stuff, my clippers.
Do you have a lot of RC Group stickers to hand
I have stickers packed. I've got a grab bag of FPV assorted gear, like video transmitters, extra wires, cables, extensions, some servos in case we have to do stuff with that. I've got 2 of the Connex ProSight systems. So I've got the one that I had for review, and I knew I was going on the show, so I contacted Amazon and said, hey, I'm going on this TV show. Wouldn't it be cool if I had a second receiver so we could hook that up to an HD DVR and record, the live footage from the drone, so they could use that on the TV show instead of maybe trying to record the SD signal from a traditional FPV system. And they were like, yeah, cool, we got you on the way. And I thought I was just getting a receiver, because I said, can I borrow a receiver? and I got a full another package in the mail, so I've got 2 complete units to be able to use on the show in some way. So I figured, hey, that might come in handy if it's a challenge where maybe it's search and rescue, maybe you have to locate something in a field. I don't know. The HD extra detail might come in handy. So we'll see. I don't even, they should let us use it. They were excited about it when they heard about it from the producers end. So I don't know.
Let's see your goggles.
See my goggles?
I want to see your sticker on your goggles.
You can't. It's loaded up in this giant. This is my DJI Ronin case that the Ronin comes in, the original full-size Ronin. It is a massive, giant, like Pelican-style case, and so it's like perfect for my check bag. I can fit a lot of stuff in there, and my goggles are basically tucked away, and they're pretty heavy.
So let's say that the TSA decides to go straight through that bag.
Yeah.
Like, we've seen people build competition sailplanes in custom-built cases, and then they just jam it back in and snap them in half because they're angry with people. I don't know. How is your setup as far as being totally ravaged?
Well, it's going to be pretty packed tightly. I've got like clothes and stuff like rolled up and stuffed in holes. It's going to be a tight pack. So good luck to them if they get stuff pulled out of there. But
good luck to you.
Good luck to me when I get it back, right? But I figured worst case scenario, by the time we get there, we've got several days before we start shooting. If there's an emergency situation, they're supposed to have gear and tools and stuff for us as well. So, we'll make it work no matter what.
Now, are you timing the haircut right before you leave?
I actually cut it this morning. Can you tell? Yeah.
That's what I could tell. You look a little different.
I was like, if I'm going to be gone after 7 weeks, I won't have the ability to cut my hair. Maybe there's a cool, like, Croatian barber I can go to.
There is.
I go in and say, give me the Croatian.
When I know where you're at, I'm going to let my good friend Sasha Wells know that you're there, although he's still on that boat somewhere out in the ocean. So
yeah. Well, it is just across the little inlet of water from Italy where they had those massive earthquakes, so hopefully we don't run into that issue.
I am a little concerned about you getting kidnapped, or I don't know.
Yeah, we'll be around other people. I did find out some info about the accommodation, so I thought my partner and I were going to be sharing a 2-bedroom apartment, 1 room apiece, but apparently we're sharing a 2-bedroom apartment with another team of 2, staying in the same room.
So
with
you're going to get to know each other really well.
Yeah.
I couldn't handle it.
I was just like, you know what? We're just going to have to knock that other team out of the competition as soon as possible so we can take over the apartment.
So back when Jason and I worked at Hobby Lobby, there was a guy named Randy. Now, I want to say I loved Randy. Some of you out here listening might know Randy. I mean, Randy went to shows with us. A big old guy with a ponytail. He cut that off. But Randy sat across from me at Hobby Lobby. And he loved to mess with me daily, every minute. And so we liked each other, and we also were always a little at each other at the same time. And so whenever we went traveling, Randy was always my room partner.
Uh-huh.
That's what put me totally off having people in my room with me. I just never want to be there again.
Oh, my
Let's
goodness.
just say there was a lot of gas involved.
Yeah, we'll have to make do,
Have we announced your partner? Is that still under wraps?
We haven't, but I don't see why we can't now. I mean, so my partner is John from Eagle Tree Systems.
Which is not a bad guy.
Oh, man, you couldn't have picked a worse guy to room with. I'm serious. Not only does he snore, no, I'm just kidding. I have no idea. But John is awesome. Hey, how y'all doing?
What's happening, Matt Gunn? I know where you've been. That it was a successful run, speaking of John.
You better believe it.
John would appreciate it, and so would Clint from Castle.
Yeah, we'll talk later about all that.
I don't think we can do that.
No.
Well, hey, we have some viewers, and I have a knife right here.
And you also have some sort of brown box back there.
Yeah, we've got multiple packages today.
All righty.
This is the Billy Hellblade officially used for opening all my boxes.
All right, let's let Jim go first.
Here's all I know about this box. I got a text from Matt Gunn that said you're getting a box. You can't open it till Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
I hope Lane is on. Hold on, let's go look at Q&A. He said he was going to try to get on here.
This has
Claudio
a lot.
online. He says hello, hi.
He does? Where'd you see
What's
that?
up, Claudio? On the Q&A?
Oh, Claudio. Okay. Hey, Claudio. Good time.
Claudio, is Claudio going to be your roommate over there too?
You might be the other team.
So I know, Matt, maybe you can help me out. I know that this is from Lane Stair.
Yeah.
And
this has a lot to do, I think, with Joe Vermillion as well.
Okay, so
Joe Vermillion, who I've reached out to right now, he is probably working or flying model airplanes or doing whatever he does in his spare time, which he's got a lot of spare time. Wait a minute, here he is. Okay, hold on. Let me send him the link. You can't open anything yet until mean Joe pops in this mofo.
Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to open it right now, Jason. I'm going to send a direct link to this.
Okay.
To Lane.
Well, why don't I do mine then real quick?
Yeah.
Do it.
All right, so I got this in the mail today.
Do it.
I'm excited to get it before
my trip. Get to the chopper.
Do it.
Yeah, let's put it on all Jason all the time.
Oh yeah. So, what's in the box today?
It's Thursday.
Rip it open.
Yeah, do it with your teeth.
Hi, Jason. Have a great trip. Talk to you when you get back. Thanks.
Wait.
Cheers, Gary.
You're not holding anything up so anybody can see.
Well, you gotta wait. You gotta wait for
Gary
it.
who?
The first rule of unboxing on live TV is you literally show the unboxing. You don't just look down in your lap, Jason, you know.
Does Gary Wright send you stuff too?
Whoa. What is that?
Okay, so this is the thing that I wrote you about, right?
Yeah.
Is that a battery tray for a Cub?
So you know how we love our Morgan Mill battery trays for the Carbon Z Cub and the Sport Cub that we did articles on? Well, this is the battery tray for the... Anybody want to guess?
Carbon XXL.
Oh, the Tiny Whoop.
Tiny Whoop is correct. No. This is for the Fun Cub XL from High Tech Multiplex, which I have hanging up right over there that you can't see.
I have Morgan trays in lots of airplanes.
So, awesome stuff. Looks like this is the cartridge. It's already built.
Yeah, man, he built it for you. That's not how it works.
So,
they don't build
it's like got magnetics to it. It's only like $19.95 on Morgan Mill.
You know what
awesome stuff.
Make that
Super
cooler?
Excited about that.
It'd be cooler if you had a pink shirt on, like Mean Joe Vermillion.
Joe Vermillion. What's up, brother?
Mean Joe Vermillion.
What's up? You know what's funny about this shirt is Matt Anderson sent me this shirt, and I know he thought I wouldn't wear it, and I sport it like crazy. I wear it all the time.
What shirt? What does it say?
It's an Anderson RC.
Ah, the Anderson RC extended family.
Yeah.
It's like 900 of them.
I know when he sent it out to me, he didn't think I'd wear it, but I wear it all the time.
You've heard what's happening with the Anderson family and my family. I'm marrying all my children into that family, and we're going to create an RC dynasty and take over the RC world.
I think we already did, didn't we?
Remember the little people.
Check this out, guys.
I'll make you an Earl.
Check out this tray, dude. So you've got your little battery thing that you put in here. It kind of locks in place, and it is adjustable for CG.
Nice.
And then there's a little magnetic thing that snaps in place here.
Holy moly.
Little tabs come down and lock in, and it's all magnetic. So it just kind of snaps in place.
Wow.
And
Wow.
That's going to be
complicated.
So I'll be doing an article and everything on this when I get back from my trip. I won't have time to get it done before, but
you know what you need, Jason? You need to get him to make you a Morgan Mills magnetic tooth implant for that.
Replace my wisdom teeth with it.
Did you get your little divot checked on by the dentist?
Yeah, I went yesterday, and they gave me a little syringe thing, which is going to be awesome for like epoxy or glue or something someday. But until then, I'm going to be rinsing out my cavity holes with. Yeah. And I was like, this thing is an awesome RC accessory, man. I can totally use this. Give me several.
Are you going to do that live on the podcast?
Yeah, right.
Oh my God! Well, I'm in the same boat you are, dude, because I have a what's it called? I need a root canal back here.
Yeah,
so I'm not happy. My whole face is swollen on this side.
Dude, have you gone to the dentist yet?
No, not yet, but I'm going to.
You went to the gun shop, but you didn't go to the dentist.
I do recommend full sedation, by the way. It's much more pleasant experience.
At the gun shop or at the dentist? No, seriously.
Making me nervous.
This won't be my first root canal, so I don't need full sedation for a root canal.
I had, and I won't say who. He got the root canal thing. They take a little thing with grooves on
Oh,
it.
I know how they do it. Yeah,
And he broke it off in the root of my tooth, and he couldn't get it out for 4 days.
Wow,
Holy
nice.
cow.
I locked the door at Hobby Lobby. It wouldn't let people talk to me because when you talk to me, I'd start yelling. That's how hurt I was. Randy Green.
Dude, you don't tell that story to a man that's about to go get a root canal.
Good luck with that.
You got Amazon Prime. You can get that whatever he ordered like the next day.
I can get a root canal via Amazon Prime.
You better have that crap in stock.
Sure.
That's where I got my BA. I got it.
All right, enough small talk. Whip out the knife. Okay, first of all, I need to understand something. Is this your work, Mean Joe Vermillion? Or is
Actually, no. This is a
Lane's
specialty from Lane. Lane
Lane's
contacted
Plains?
me a couple
What is
weeks ago. Yeah.
Lane's
he
Plains?
contacted me-
Lanesplains.com?
Yeah. We actually talked at the SIG, and Lane said, "What about this?" And I said, "Dude, that's awesome. Do it." So this is the.
Okay, so
product
you have
Lane.
a back story in this a little bit.
Here's
Oh,
another one of Lane's
absolutely.
products, or Lane's little accessories
Yeah.
he made for us. Right there.
So basically,
Yeah.
Mean Daddy contacted me and said, Mean
hold on.
Daddy Joe.
Hold on.
Yeah. What?
Watch his face because he's gonna flip out. This is gonna be so cool.
Uh-oh.
Is it a box full of snakes? Please say it's a box full of snakes. Because I want to see his face
The
flip
fake
out.
spring-loaded ones that
Hold
just jump
that
out
knife.
everywhere.
Right.
Hold
Is
that knife
This
still.
is a personalized Tito's vodka Telecaster body, maybe.
It's a water Pokemon. That's what it is. It's a water.
Oh,
Pokemon.
man.
Oh, no,
They
scratch.
jump out.
Gotta catch them all.
Come on, dude. Your opening skills
Oh,
are
you know that guy,
lame.
that water Pokemon guy? Yeah, my daughter likes him. She wants to go on a date with him now.
Oh, man. Are they going to go Pokemoning together?
They do Pokemon.
Just tell them to stay out of the cemetery, stay out of any places where they don't allow you to go in. Come on, man. What's going on in here?
I don't know what it is.
You can't see it yet.
Your box opening skills are getting really bad
Yeah. Getting
This is a
rough.
custom box.
for a custom dude.
I'm surprised the box isn't made out of laser-cut wood.
Yeah,
Right?
right.
Maybe
Seriously.
he could laser cut the address on the front.
It's it's
Laser-
crated.
Yeah.
Where are you
Look
at?
at this.
then?
Come on. This
All
is
right,
not
so-
your average box.
So for those that are watching Jim struggle, he has no idea what's in here, but this is from Lane himself at Lane's Plains, and we don't know anything about. None of us know what this is, maybe except for Joe. I don't know.
I do.
what
I do.
Wait, I know what it is. You told me what it was. But
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my memory isn't what it used to be.
I do not know what it is.
Oh
You're gonna
God,
love it, man.
this,
It's
I will find out in 30 minutes when this box has been
the
opened. fully.
suspense is
I don't
really
wanna break
making me
anything.
sick.
What the what, man? What? This
Okay,
is
so what we'll probably do later on, guys, is just fast forward through all this
Yeah.
and get right to the opening.
The big reveal.
I'm really making fun of you right now.
All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today's podcast. We'll see you next week.
We're 18 minutes in to
Holy
a box
crap,
opening.
man.
To be continued.
I'm kind of a box saver, but this one's not.
I think it's a thing at
of the
this
video.
This one's going to the fire pit.
Whatever's in it, or just the
I'm
box?
gonna have to cut my hair again.
That's awesome.
Me too.
Oh man.
I got it.
Hey, what is it?
It's opening.
Styrofoam. Sweet.
Well, there's a plug involved.
Uh-oh.
There it
All
Uh-oh.
right,
All right.
get into this thing,
I
dude.
see the Lane's Plains sticker.
Is it taped more?
Yeah.
It's kind of washed out on my video. Oh, that's just paper.
Ugh.
All right.
I can
Jeez.
see the plug. I can see the plug.
La la la.
How loud can I sigh?
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Okay, I think I'm there.
Son of a.
No.
Whoa, that is cool. Holy cow, everybody
Live on
Oh
air.
my gosh, that is awesome.
What the what? Plug it in, dude.
I'm plugging things here.
Oh my god.
That's so awesome.
It won't reach.
Well, you gotta turn your... Alright, over this way a little more.
Oh man, that is killer.
This is so awkward.
Sorry.
Here we go.
I'm on air with Jim T.
There we go. Oh man, look at that. That is super freaking
That
swag.
is nice.
That is cool. And I'm going to go get an extension cord and get it behind me. And thanks for all of you for hanging out while we do
Man, that is sweet.
the wood.
Nice, dude.
All right, y'all talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to get this set up.
Hey, I got something for you. Have you guys seen the packaging? I got a new review here. I don't know if I'm supposed to say anything on the air or not, but have you seen the packaging that Hobby King's putting on their batteries?
Did
No.
you get the graphene packs?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is freaking awesome.
I was like, what the heck is
They come in
this?
little almost like Crown Royal bags, don't they?
Yeah, it's a magnetic box and a awesome soft cloth pouch.
That's where, and now if they didn't have any of that stuff, would they knock $30 off the price?
Yeah, right. I don't know,
Check
but
this
it is
out. It's
nice.
just crazy. I got this out of the box and I was like, what is that? And it's the battery. It's got this little
Now, what I like about
sleeve.
yeah, let's put it on you instead of me.
Open
What
it
I
up.
like what I like about those batteries, man, is that their discharge rate is insane. You can literally pull. I mean, like you could run that in the Drak and pull 70, 80, 90 amps.
Look at
They won't even get warm, dude. They will not even get warm. I love
Isn't
those
that
batteries.
insane?
It's a nice pouch too.
Yeah, it comes with a like a
What's
Crown
that?
Royal back.
4S, 4S,
And doesn't
4000?
the heat shrink on the battery feel like 10 times better than any other heat shrink you've ever touched?
Yeah, it's like thick. Yeah.
It's matte and it's like it feels like plush. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So I've been using those packs. Here's my Turnigy 1300 for my 250,
Yep.
but then it fell off and it went into like this. Literally went into the it broke it right there.
It
Yeah,
pops.
yeah. So I just taped them up, and in the meantime, I'm gonna get some more. But yeah, these packs are insane, man. Love them. They don't puff. They don't do anything silly.
Yeah, I couldn't believe I kept digging in the box. I was like, what the heck is in here? And like Jason said, this heat shrink they put on here is like ridiculous. It's almost plush. It feels soft. It's crazy.
They're heavy batteries, though. I mean, like, it's all relative, right? It doesn't really matter. They're heavy compared to the exact same pack. Even the Turnigy Nanotechs,
It's not
maybe they're
graphene,
just
right.
they're just a little bit heavier. Not too much, but
Yeah.
it's not
But
enough to deter me from using them.
It is nice that an expensive product feels, expensive. Right?
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
it's like buying an Apple product. The experience of unboxing it and everything is awesome, and it's kind of that same idea. And I think it works. It worked for me. I was like, oh man, this is nice.
Yeah,
I
I
like
was
'em.
amazed.
All right, we'll let Jim just keep ripping over there. I want to show you guys this.
This is how many things this was in.
Oh gosh, it is glass though, isn't it? Or is it? It's acrylic, right?
Not,
Plexiglass, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know how he got the two colors.
Trade
It's-
secret, man. We can't tell you.
whew, that is stellar.
That is nice. So did you guys see the new Blade Inductrix FPV? Have we talked about that yet?
Yeah, buddy.
I
It's
see
nice,
it.
isn't it? Well, what do you think?
I hope it's
How
as
you
good
gonna-
as I hope it's as good as
It
the
looks
Tiny
awesome.
Whoop is.
Yeah, it's got the updated motors on it. It's got
Yeah,
25 milliwatt VTX
Transmitter.
on there. Yeah, I mean it's 200 mAh pack on it. I think that's pretty decent, considering only the aftermarkets are 210. So you should get 4 minutes out of it, right?
Yeah.
I would say at least that, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lane. That is awesome.
Let's see. Oh, you got it up now?
No, but maybe before the show, I'm going to screw it to the wall right here.
Who is
Yeah,
Ragnar
that would-
Lothbrok?
Yeah.
Who's Ragnar Lothbrok? Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me?
I don't know
No,
the
I'm
answer
not.
to that either.
Ragnar Lothbrok is the first Viking to sail to England and raid. He said it was like stealing from babies. So, Ragnar Lothbrok.
Wow.
There's something vibrating in my
Totally
room.
RC related.
Okay.
All right, here. All right, you want me to go ahead?
Yeah,
Are
you
we on-
go,
are we
and
on
then I have
something else?
something awesome to show people. I've got another box.
Another box, dude?
No, I don't have another box.
So we were talking last time about this little guy right here, which is the Furious FPV True D diversity receiver.
Mhm.
And I got a chance to use it, so we can talk about it real quick if we want. It comes with this little plastic case, and the case itself isn't, it's not 3D printed, although it sort of looks like it. It's kind of cut. It's a little bit of a rough cut, if you will. So, but that's cool because it doesn't really matter. It's a nice little. You can see barely right there how this is cut out. You can almost see where they cut it out with something like I don't know what, but
It's cool.
Maybe
Yeah.
a router.
Like a crayon.
sure, yeah. So it fits nicely into the unit to right here, like so. And then you take the cover, you put it right on top, and then you snap it into place like
That's
this. There we go. So now you have this extension piece on top. There we go. We can all see that, right? Yep.
Yep.
So it fits really nicely on these on the Fat Shark. So what I'll do is put my Omni on top here. And then I've got this little patch that goes on the bottom. So when you're using these now, you're no longer using the channel buttons on top. So I'll plug it in like so. Let's see if we can see. And then switch on the receiver underneath because it's off until you switch on the receiver.
Mhm.
Here we go. Let's see if everybody can see this nice and clean.
Oh, yeah.
So it says Furious
You can watch
FPV.
TV on that thing.
Yeah, it's very difficult to see with this. There we go. So
We
it's
can
saying
see
what it's saying what my channel is. It's got great functions such as if you push it, it's got the scroll wheel right here that you can scroll up and down. So you push the button when you first get it. You go to Setup menu, and then you go to RSSI calibration. And you hit that, and you. Oh, my battery's getting low. It's starting to beep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, incredible unit. So it works really well. You also have auto find, and you can when you do auto find, it goes to the highest signal, and it changes to it. You also have band scanner, which does the auto search function, and it just tells you what's the best signals out there. It tells you every signal that's out there, and it does it in a little bar graph.
Wow.
So it'll start scanning all 40 channels, and then as it goes through, it'll go high for that one, high for that one, high for that one, and it'll say this entire spectrum. Here's all the channels that it currently picked up. Here's the highest one. So you can go and do that one. It also has the ability to set 8 presets. So you can scroll quickly to your favorite channel that you have set, which is freaking amazing in
That's
its own
awesome.
right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Almost like a transmitter now.
Yep, the diversity works really well, and I've tested it by putting my hand over the top like so. It'll instantly switch as soon as you start closing in on it. The only thing, I'm going to turn this off because it's beeping, and I'm sure you can't hear that, but I can. The only thing that is, I would say not a downside to it, but it's interesting, is that if in auto search, I've found that it will pick sometimes the channel right adjacent to whatever your transmitter's on, which is kind of interesting. So I will let's say I pick 5733. Okay, so I pick 5733 on my transmitter, and then I do auto search, and it'll pick up 5730 as the best, or it'll sometimes even stop at 5745.
Which is the worst.
Yeah, so it'll sometimes it gets close, and sometimes it nails it right on. But if you know what you're at, it'll still as it's scanning, it'll say, okay, 5744, 5733, or 5740, 5733, 5740, and then it'll say 5740 is the best one, so let's put you on that. When it's not. So that's the only thing that I found that was kind of interesting. You can still quickly find it. It only takes a second. A minor inconvenience when you're dealing with such a awesome diversity receiver.
Let me add on to that. Oops, put these on. I have a video transmitter that Jason and I were using. Was that yesterday? No, the day before yesterday. And
Tuesday.
I was having
Monday.
The thing that I love about this video transmitter is that it has an LCD screen and tells me exactly I'm on A45760. And so that way I can come back to whatever I'm using to pick up the signal and make sure that I'm on the exact right channel so I don't find out at the wrong moment when I get out of range of the wrong channel.
That's what this one does, and it's right 98% of the time. And it really is easy. I mean, it puts you right there. Like if it's on 5733 and it picks 5735 or whatever, it's close right to it. I know by looking at my transmitter what I'm on, and it's right on the money. I mean, but it gets it most of the time. So that's my only downside to this. And I asked the owner Steve about it, and he hasn't gotten back to me yet. With regards to how
much was it?
These are, I think, $79, and they're not. Yes, $79.95. They're set for pre-order. The ETA, they're hitting the shop floors or the online market. They're ready on the 27th, so they're almost there.
I'd have to have it if I had.
Yeah. Now they use. Let's see. They use. What is the open source that they use to switch with? I'm pulling it up right now. Blah 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 blah. I'm sorry, I'm looking right now. It's an open source diversity, so you can change stuff within it if you want to hook it up to Arduino or whatever. So.
Well, I have been heavily I was sent these glyphs by Avegant, and these are high-dollar deals, and I wanted to spend a lot of time with them before I shot the video and talked. And so I've flown these things with my Tiny Whoop, with medium-sized quads out in the backyard, and then Jason and I took out the Surfer 1500 with my favorite video transmitter and camera on it, and looked at them. And so here's what I have to say to everyone out there. Because $700 is a lot of money, but there's no pixelization with these goggles because these goggles don't have pixels because they use the optics send what is picked up from the HDMI cable into microscopic mirrors and bounce that into your retina.
Wow, now we're talking.
And so what I said in the video is everyone says, is that safe? The concept here is to recreate what you see with your natural eye. So everything out my window is being bounced into my retina, And so there's no holes in the signal. There's no digital frame or wire frame. There's no
middleman to make it not worth it.
Yes. So let's go straight to Jason, who has a lot of great goggles. What did you think when you flew in these things?
Yeah, I like it. I think it's awesome. It was probably one of the best displays I've ever seen in a pair of video goggle displays.
That's a hefty statement, Jason.
It is 720p, so technically, like my Eoshin goggles, one that I have is higher resolution at 1080p. But I think that this display was brighter, crisper, just overall better looking. The field of view is smaller, which is great. For a lot of racers and stuff, they want a little bit smaller field of view to see everything without moving your eyeballs around the screen.
Right. So getting the OSD did not involve looking around to the left.
Yeah. So, and it feels, the comfort level, you may have to get used to it. It did feel like it was kind of pressing in on my ears. It's basically just resting on your nose and your ears, and it has to be pulled in pretty tight to not just fall off. So I don't know how comfortable it'd be to be using it for a whole day.
But
Well,
they
you have
also,
that head strap.
yeah, you have the head strap. If
Yeah,
you,
that's true.
and one thing I noticed is, and one thing I'll say that will really sell it, I think, to anyone who's thinking about it, the camera coming off the Tiny Whoop, to me, in my eyes, were 50. It was 50% sharper, clearer, and cleaner.
Wow.
Every camera I ran through doubled, in my estimation, the way it looked to me. It was twice as good. The greens
Dang,
were
dude.
greener. Everything was defined. Now the lenses in these things are like binoculars, so you actually turn them to exactly match your eye. So this one, one side for me is radically different than the other, which allows me to get exact 20/20 coming off of these.
That's because you have hyper freak
Yeah,
laser cut eyes.
freak vision. But
That's interesting, Jim. I didn't know when I flew it. I didn't rotate the things. All I did
Oh.
was adjust the IPD.
oh
Oh,
yeah,
you have hyper freak eyes too, man, just like
I
Jim.
guess we're the same, man.
it would have been better for you if you'd have focused it.
Yeah, that's crazy. It still
But-
looked in focus to me, but
Okay.
weird.
Well, check this out. So the question is, unless you have a Connex, which I don't know that I'll ever have a Connex or any kind of HDMI system. The question is, how do you get your FPV video signal into the goggles? And so here's what I did. You're looking, of course, at my favorite eSheen dual diversity monitor that has a built-in DVR and all that lives on the side here. And what I did is I got a little Velcro and I got on Amazon.com and I ordered this killer high-capacity rechargeable battery that has 3 USB outs. And then I ordered this $22 unit that takes an RC signal out of my monitor and turns it into an HDMI signal. You can pick 720 is one of the options, and the options I have to use.
So you plug your AV right into it, and it's HDMI out.
And then I HDMI out to the goggles, and that's it. And if you're running like the Tiny Whoop, mine has no audio, so the sound will kill you. You just unplug your audio out of here and just run video, and then you don't have to worry about that.
Goggles are always tough to review because you can only say, hey, here's how awesome this is, and you have to experience it for yourself. I really enjoyed wearing those at Oshkosh when I put on Chris's.
Speaking of that, so I threw the plane in the air, used the auto search on this. It got the wrong channel. I knew because when I doubled back behind myself, I was losing signal in my goggles. And so when the goggles actually lost signal, I was standing in front of this monitor, and I still had enough grain signal in this monitor to land the airplane.
Mm-hmm.
Now, then I was like, oh no, that's bad that these goggles blacked out on me. But when I verified that the channel on the airplane was exactly the same as the monitor, that never happened again. So, get the right channel.
That's right. You know, when that's happened to me in the past, I've had, the screen go black before the monitor does, and I've been under the hood. Luckily, I'm using the Eagle Tree Vector, so I can instantly switch it into loiter or return to home and not lose the thing into the ground. You know, that's what always helps.
Hey man, I looked at that Futaba gyro that you shared with me. It just came out yesterday, but I noticed it's only for a single channel, so it would only be for a rudder or an elevator.
No, I think they have a 2-channel version, don't they? They have multiple channels. Let's go to it real quick.
Oh, wait. Before we go there, I have some videos to share that everyone will love. So Jason, do you have a picture of you? Can you go to your little story about your little unicycle that you've been riding?
What do you mean, go to it?
On RCGroups and share the photo?
You want me to share the screen?
Yeah.
Oh, he's got a little unicycle.
Let me do.
So Jason's out there with his unicycle, which It's
not a unicycle, Jim T.
I was like, Jason's like, I'm going to use it to get airplanes. And I'm like, right. But when I threw the airplane way out in the middle of the field, he was like, hey, he gets on his little Segway and segues out into the grassy pasture, grabbed the thing, and rolled back. It was awesome.
There, can you see that?
Hold on. So there he is doing his deal. I mean, it totally worked the way he said it would. What do you think about that, Matt Gunn? You think we need to get one?
Hold on, let me get over to him now. I was looking at this picture. I was trying to decipher what am I looking at. Like, is he about to launch it like that?
Well, I did. I launched Jim T from a rolling, start hand launch while on the Segway.
Okay, who am I looking at? The photo or the video?
You're looking at Jason right now.
Okay, I'm looking at the photo of Jason holding the Excalibur.
Okay, now I'm going to present to everyone. Let me know. Right. Is it happening?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay, I'm going to hit the play button. Now check this out.
Okay.
All right, that's me. Rock and roll.
Oh, yeah. You rock and roll.
Putting on the glyphs. Now, there's Jason on his little Segway.
Rock out with your socks out.
10.5 miles per hour, max speed.
Somebody told you need to lose that thing. I'm like, blasphemy! Don't ever say that again. Looks like 2 hot dogs between your legs.
Hey.
In a bun, a black bun and a white hot dog.
So there's the launch off the Segway, right? And so we're flying the Surfer 1500. And so here's the theory. I'm going to come around, and I said, Jason, I'm going to fly straight at your head.
Which is always a great thing to say.
That's a good idea. It's always a good idea.
This sidewalk is a great indicator.
It is a pusher prop, so we're safe there.
So what you do is you turn over that sidewalk, and that means that you're center line on the runway. Wait, I think I came in too hot here. Wow!
Oh!
All right, going around. I'm going to fast forward.
I was like, let's try that again.
All right, now I'm slowed down. And we're trying to put him in the circle here. And
Surprised I didn't fall off.
Whammo!
Whammo! Caught it!
I caught it. Then I'm like, throw it! Chunk. Let me flat right over myself
Is that a
here.
dedicated airstrip for RC?
Yeah, that's our airstrip.
You ever have problems with people going and playing on it and stuff like that?
Not too bad.
There's a victory roll.
Whoa, victory roll. I thought you had lost control and were diving in.
Whoops. And now I've got one more video that I think you're all going to love. It's not, Jason, I was thinking comparatively what we did with the other video isn't that sexy, but it was pretty exciting at the time.
What do you mean?
Let me get to this here. Okay, let me turn off some things.
Yep.
Full screen. Whoops. Hold on. Let me open a box real quick. Let me get right to that. I'm joking. Okay, I'm going to share my screen, which is... I'm going to make sure I'm sharing the right screen. All right. All right, so this is the Surfer 15 through the glyphs. Bam! Through the pavilion.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it got stuck on me for a second here. Let's go back.
Oh, that's it. That's the whole thing.
Oh, yeah. Nice. I like it. I like it a lot.
I think that Segway is going to be great for coverage, too. We'll have the video camera with its dynamic stabilization built in.
Oh, yeah.
And just, ride it down the flight line filming. It's going to be some cool shots.
Are you using your Canon camera when you're doing those handhelds?
I haven't yet. That was just my phone.
Wow,
I was just like, I'm going to film this, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah, he said, I thought you were using the good camera.
I did too. I asked Jim, what cameras do you use? And he's like, whatever his good one is. Well, apparently it's your phone.
That was my phone.
What, Joe?
Nice.
What, Joe?
Whatever. One of the things that I've been doing with my my coverage of the flight line is I've actually been taking the props off of my DJI Pro 3 and using it and walking down the flight line, and the video turns out great.
Yep.
That's a popular thing to do. It makes you look a little silly, but it actually works. Yeah. The end product is what you're after.
Yeah. Looks sweet.
Hey everyone, we have the Clover Creek Invitational Freestyle Competition coming up, and Clover Creek at Toon, Tennessee. Miss Ashley is going on a cruise. I believe that they're taking a boat around the Mississippi, and they're cruising up into, I'm not sure exactly where she's going, but Casey Ducia is going to shoot the photos for us at this one. So if you're there, say hey to Casey and thank her for us, and thank you from all of us. And so just be aware that that is happening.
Nice, nice. You know what? I'm looking at this Futaba GY441 dual air servo gyro, and you are correct. It is a single-axis gyro.
So you'd have to have two, and then my question is, how would that work? How would it would it be natively
No,
talk to
they're basically analog. They work by themselves.
Right.
Interesting. You would need two of them at $79 a piece.
Right.
It's a single-axis operation.
But they are little.
Very small, like postage stamp small.
Jason Cole got a thing in the mail and didn't even know what it was and built it and flew it in 24 hours and blew the minds of Hobby King.
It was the fastest turnaround of any review in the history of reviews.
When I was looking in the review build section that we all stage our stuff in, and I saw you had started that, and I'm like, oh, he started it. And then that afternoon it was live. I was like, holy moly, that's the fastest done review ever.
Well, it's like, I don't know how you guys are, but for me, I don't like things like hanging over my head.
Not before a show.
Yeah, and I knew I was getting ready to leave the country for weeks, and I was like, man, I want to have all my stuff done. I've kind of had things planned, and then that thing showed up Monday morning, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is okay. A, this is cool. B, I've got to get to work. And so we were going to the field anyway that day, and luckily I got it in time and got it built. And it only takes 20 minutes or less to put it together. We're talking about the Durafly Excalibur, by the way.
It looks
not available yet.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's not out yet.
Yeah.
I didn't know it wasn't really available. I had seen some guys post a couple of pictures online, and I was just in a rush and didn't really think that it might not be available yet, and I shouldn't have posted the review already, but I did, and it's there. And I kind of apologized to Stuart at Hobby King, and he was cool with it, and everything's fine. But anyway, the plane is awesome. So you got some really cool stuff to look forward to with it because it's a really quick build. They kind of did everything right. The Durafly brand has really been making some serious quality products. I've reviewed quite a few Durafly stuff over the years, and it just keeps getting better and better. So they've got plenty of cooling for the motor system. Everything just kind of fit together just right, and they did a plug-in style servo connection for the wings, which is not easy to do. And you might think that a Chinese manufacturer would kind of get that wrong and stuff wouldn't fit, and you'd have issues and have to work on it. I didn't have to change anything. It just plugs in, super smooth, works just like it's supposed to.
And
so
you flew the crap out of that thing on the maiden. I mean, flew the teeth off of it.
Yeah, the maiden flight, I just full throttle hand launch, and after I launched it, it accelerated away and then straight up, and I was like, "Oh baby, this is gonna be fun."
This thing's up like 3-to-1 vertical.
And somehow I nailed the control. I did because my version didn't have a manual. It was a kind of a early production model, but the production units will have manuals and all the information you'd need. I didn't have any of that. I just kind of went off of what I've done for years at Hobby Lobbies, just figure it out, right? So I nailed the control rates and everything, and it felt just amazing. So it's such a groovy, airplane. It just locks in. It doesn't waggle. It doesn't move. It just stays where you put it until you tell it to do something different. And you can just carve through turns and do point rolls and just get low and feel really comfortable with it because just the way it handles is so awesome. And it's fast, so I called it a warm liner, but it's really in between a warm liner and a hot liner. It's more full hot liner to me than a warm liner because the wings are tough enough. It'll take a full speed power dive straight down and then yank the elevator, and the wings aren't going to budge. So it's full on. Just have a blast. Don't worry about blowing anything up. Do what you want with it. And that's where I've got my Hobby King battery. The graphene, I'm running an 1800 4S is what it uses. And everything was just really nice on the build there. I wouldn't change really anything. Now, I did send me 2 props. So Stuart does talk about the stock prop. I think it's a 13.6, but he gave me a 13.8 as well, and they're calling that the Pro prop, and that is for more experienced pilots, and it's a little bit faster, a little bit less runtime, but a lot more performance. And so that's what I had used, and you can see that performance in the video if you go to RCGroups and watch.
And I don't like to shine a light on negativity, but right after we posted the video, somebody sent us an email that said, Boy, all positive. Why is it always positive on these things? And I read that, and I thought, man, how are you supposed to go negative on a plane that builds fast, flies great, with absolutely zero knowledge of how to set it up, and there's nothing bad to say about this.
No, there's not.
I do talk. I mean, it's kind of funny. A lot of the things I review, I really like, and that's why I'm reviewing them. And so it's hard to come up with problems. I do have 2 cons in here. I said the battery bay is tight, and it is. If you're cramming in a 2200, especially a graphene pack that's a little bit bigger, it's a tight fit, and it's you kind of have to shoehorn it in and get the connectors to seat down properly before you can put the canopy on.
Like a Tiger.
And then, the aileron servo horns are protruding out the bottom of the wing with no protection. So if you hit right on grass that's thick, you might catch a servo and could potentially break a servo gear train or something. I was literally struggling. Those were the only 2 things I could come up with that I, thought could be better or changed or whatever. But everything else was awesome. I was like, why would you change anything else on this? So it is hard for me to come up with negatives on something that I really like, and that's just how it is,
Well, usually when I do a hotliner review, I've done a couple in the past, and there's always that person that's like, you're like, hey, this is blah 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 hotliner, and they're like, oh, hotliner, you mean cold liner, blah blah blah. Like there's always that one person that has a 3,000 mile an hour hotliner, and anything that you call a hotliner is wrong. So you were like, I was waiting for somebody to be like, oh, warm liner, oh, that's not a warm liner, that thing's a Hobby King special, blah blah blah. Nope, nothing. That thing has gotten rave reviews after you posted it.
Yeah, people are excited about it.
They should be, man. It looks incredible, and I swear to God, if I had reviewed that plane, I would have never seen the graphic of the sword on top like you did. I just would have missed all of that, and somebody would have called that out in the review.
I thought the same thing. I was like, I would have never noticed it.
I know, right? It's like, oh, it's got a freaking sword on it.
To be fair, I only knew that because of watching Stewart's daily video on their site, where he talks about the airplane. I was like, there's a sword there. And I was like, we got to do some kind of King Arthur or something pulling it out of the ground.
In the video, I really saw special effects. Like when you put it in the air, I saw lightning bolts hitting.
Yeah, I wish I could do special effects, man. I'm not an effects guy.
You should have asked me, man. I'm an After Effects genius.
Yeah, I would love to learn, man.
Actually, I'm a rookie.
Joe, you got anything on the building board back there, buddy?
Oh yeah, I got all kinds of stuff going. Actually, we've got an event this weekend, and I was getting stuff around for my event. I've actually got the I was working on tightening the covering on the Great Plains Zero.
Nice.
And I got the Sean Craft front yard fighter. I had to push it aside so I can work on all my other stuff.
Hey, was that an AMA plaque over there for being the meanest AMA guy around?
Yeah, that's my, what is that? That's my flight support leader and educational leader and my CD plaques.
So, all right, now you're just showing off.
Me and Joe, I had my first contest last year, and you have to have 2 to be a real contest director.
Right.
I completely did not know I needed to send in documentation after the contest, so I have to have another contest than another contest.
Ah, dude, brutal.
But I was just going through getting I got all my West Michigan Park Flyer stuff out and just buttoning up some stuff.
Well, what you got on the review bench, man?
Am I supposed to get it out or what?
Absolutely, yeah. You can talk about stuff you're in the process of reviewing. That's what we do.
The box. I haven't even opened the box yet. So.
Oh yeah, open a box.
Are we gonna do a live opening?
Yeah. Will it take a long time?
Yeah, no, it probably won't take as long as you. All right, let's do the old countdown here, and let's see how long.
Like an ultra stick or something? Be a stick in a box.
Oh, look at that! It's a Hobby King box.
Yeah, it's a Hobby King box.
I need some tape.
Cutter.
I got mine. Here you go.
Hey, if you could hand that through to him somehow, mate, we could pull that off.
It's gonna happen. Zach King could make it happen.
I don't hate that guy, but boy, I don't like those videos.
That dude's good with effects.
Oh
god. Did we hit a note there, Jim?
Make him stop.
And he's gone.
You know what Thursday night means, Jason?
No, what's
that?
that?
Watching our favorite TV show.
Oh, I thought Thursday was the new Friday.
Practical Jokers, that come on?
Hey, it's a
Oh,
Zazzy.
it's Zazzy! Zazzarino!
Every Hobby King banner is a Zazzy right now.
That is one talked about aircraft right now. Come on, man, pull it out.
I'm really excited about this one.
I would be too. I like it.
It's a good name too. There's nothing else called a Zazzy.
There really isn't. You can look it up online. You can Google the word Zazzy. It's never been spoken in the language before.
They made up a word. I like it.
They did. They made up a word. I think Coldplay did that with their album one year. They made that up. Anyway, I
World of
digress.
Suction. Oh no, it came right out.
It did. Usually it kind of goes, you pull the box top off. All right, this is going to get good here. Let's get the Zazz going.
I wonder if light will come out of there.
What if it flies out of the box?
I think it needs a jazzy theme song.
Maybe when you open it, it goes, Zazzy!
Jazzy!
You can get to record that on my Jetty radio and
Zazzy! Zazz hands!
Jazz hands.
Your Zazz hands.
Joe's got Zazz hands. He can't get it out of the box.
Take it easy.
I know. I'm sorry.
There you go.
I like it.
Booyah.
Yeah, it's packed actually really good. They got it all.
Yeah, there's a lot of tape in those boxes, aren't there?
Yeah, there's a lot of tape in there.
It's no live on the air with Jim T sign, but hey, it's pretty cool.
Right. I don't rate that much yet.
So you've got a 4S 4000 for it, right?
Right.
It should be a hot rod, man.
Yeah, I was actually watching the video online of the Hobby King video, just checking it out, and it actually looks like it flies really good.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah. I'm excited about that one.
Well, good. Well, we got it in capable hands. That's for darn sure. So.
Yeah, I'll ship it over to Nikolai here pretty soon so he can knock it out.
Wah, wah.
Where's
Wah, wah.
Nikolai's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nick's got some stuff. Zazzy hands. All right.
Oh, trigger. Zazzy.
Oh.
He says, Nikolai says, I hope you guys know the Big Bang Theory reference to Zazzles. Does anybody know that? I don't know that.
Oh,
know
man.
that.
I consider myself pretty good with Big Bang Theory, and I do not know that one.
The Zazzles. I don't know what that is, Nikolai.
Hey, I'm going to do a gratuitous ad promotion here. We have a forum on RCGroups called Mini Multirotors. And currently there's over 1,000 people in that single multirotor forum.
You know where they all are, right?
It depends. I know what you're going to say, but I think that's in micro multirotors.
Micro.
But anyway,
I got it in mini multirotors.
Oh, that's wrong. It's getting moved.
But before we get off topic, so there's 1,000 people in there, and here's the deal. If you own a multirotor company and you're watching the podcast, there's not a site sponsor for that section yet. That is a hot little section.
Hot
topic.
Hot section. Where you gonna host? Hot section. Diarrhea section.
You want the 950 by 110 banner and that mini multirotors with over 1,000 people in it, always 800 to 900. Shoot me a PM and I will hook you up like a tow truck.
Why are these guys always doing weird voices?
Every time I say Zazzy, I've got to do that, right?
Zazzy. Hey everyone, it's Mean Joe Vermillion with
I'm
RC
comfortable
Groups.
with this.
I'm interviewing the Zazzy.
Mean Joe has Zazzy hands.
Hot pocket.
We digress, and I love it. That's half the fun of working for
I
you.
thought this was an FPV show.
Zazzy hands are the best.
Chicken farm, you Zazzy good.
That's got to be the cover photo for that article. It's just like,
I'll do it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm looking around my vast empire of RC in here. I'm trying to find something to talk about that's new and exciting.
Joe, I don't know if you know this, but if I see a review and I think that the leading image could be more dynamic and look even crazier than it does, I'll just change it right there.
oh, that's good, man. That's awesome. Whatever. Yeah.
Matt
That's
Gunn
what
knows.
we do.
I did
Oh,
it
I know.
yesterday.
I do it too. In fact, Jim said, "Hey Matt, we need to have a talk. Your images aren't Zazzy enough."
I gotta zazz it up. Give a zazz hand, man.
Zazzy. This is borderline embarrassing.
If we ever see Stuart at a show
awesome.
again, we're gonna all zazz. Stuart, Zazzy.
Zazzarino. Ladies and gentlemen, we've approached 1 hour of banter.
Here we go. So he says Sheldon got a bunch of cats, named one Zazzles because he was so zazzy.
Zazzy.
Booyah.
There
Wow.
you go.
All right. I feel better now.
Well, here's where I'm going. I have shot my video for the glyphs. I've taken photos, and I have a vast array of glyph knowledge. So my goal before the end of Friday is to get that review out for everyone to check out.
So let me expand on that. So you and Jason, I've said this a million times, you and Jason have such a great thing going. You live close to each other. You shoot videos with each other. It is an awesome thing that I am literally
RC videos.
I'm not even talking. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's too bad he's moving to Croatia.
Yeah, get your vaccinations, by the way. You don't know what's over there.
Ooh.
I am very jealous. I'm very jealous that you guys can shoot all these great videos. Now, the problem is that Joe, I want to be able to shoot with Joe, Mean Joe, because he is freaking awesome with the camera. He's awesome pilot. We would really kick butt together getting reviews done. He's just slightly too far away. I mean, you're literally, above Detroit?
No. Don't be scared. It's all good.
No,
I know what
it's
you're
too far.
talking. We need an RC compound where we all live together in harmony.
Yeah, we do. So I'm going to put it out.
Terry can be the cult leader.
Wait, Mean Joe's talking.
Nikolai moved. Nikolai literally was 20 minutes from my house before he moved.
Oh, man.
And then both of you guys hooked up with us, and now you can't help each other out.
It's like Matt Gunn was in Atlanta when he first started working for us, and then he moved to Minnesota.
Dude, I had so many people in Atlanta that were helping me with reviews and stuff at any given time, and then now it's
hard.
It is so hard to find someone that can not only fly but can shoot videos, shoot photos, and knows what you want. You know, that's so difficult.
Not everybody's Matt Gunn.
Not everybody is Matt Gunn. Yeah.
Oh,
so,
I have a story. I know we're at the end of the hour, but we had some people over the other night, and there were husbands involved, and I said, come downstairs. So I let them wear the glyphs while I flew through the monitor, the tiny whoop all over the house. I made a woman scream. I came up out of the basement into the kitchen and flew at a woman, and she literally screamed expletives when she saw she didn't know what it was.
That is so awesome.
So they were like, oh, cool, I want to try. And, you know, you can break a tiny whoop, but it's not easy. So I put them in the goggles, and they proceeded to slam into the ceiling, slam into the floor. And I said, you know, I'm so used to flying with great pilots, I feel like the worst pilot. But now you guys have really shown me that I'm a pretty good pilot, because they were horrible.
That happens, man. You put one of these little things, they're borderline indestructible. You put it in somebody's hands, and you find out real quick how fast somebody can break something.
How destructible it is.
Yeah, I had to literally order a new frame for my tiny whoop after letting somebody fly it.
A full-scale Pitts pilot.
A full-scale Pitts pilot who is incredible was just banging it around the house. Next thing you know, all 4 motor mounts were broken. I was like,
have you been seeing the post by Jason Knoll? He's looking for a full-scale Pitts.
Yeah.
He must really want one.
Pretty cool, man. Hope he gets it.
Wish I had one to sell him.
You should put him in touch with that young man. What was his name? Ryan? Who'd we interview?
Ben.
Thanks. Ryan.
Ben.
Everybody who I don't know what their name is, I just call him Ryan.
Call him Ryan.
Well, you know, we're up straight at an hour, and I think we should start reeling it in here, even though we're at a peak of 2,000 live viewers. Holy cow.
That's a lot.
Wait, 10,000? What?
No, it's 2.
2 viewers?
Well, hopefully, guys, hopefully,
2 viewers.
In theory, I'll be here next Thursday live from Croatia. It'll be 9 to 10 o'clock at night over there.
Are you going to live broadcast with us? I want to see your living quarters,
Yeah.
and I want to laugh.
We'll give you the tour.
Seriously, Jason, don't drink the water, man.
Is that a thing? Do I need to get bottled water?
I'm just joking. I'm acting like it's a third world country. It's a very cool place.
No, you know.
Are you bringing a tiny whoop?
I am bringing a tiny whoop.
Drink bottled water, dude. Seriously.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, drink bottled water just to be safe. I did a lot of traveling in the Marine Corps, and I'm telling you, drink bottled water.
Yeah, 2 words: protozoa.
Oh.
Zika.
Not good.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is why I love you guys. This is so much fun.
Well, you've been watching live with the RCGroups crew. Thanks, me and Joe, for showing up. I did throw a link out there to Lane's at Lane's Planes, but he's probably flying a full-scale war helicopter somewhere.
Yeah, he's probably moving into his new house right now, actually.
Well, hey to Lane, thank you so much for my gift. Hey to your lovely wife. We will see you guys at a show soon, I'm sure. That's not easy to say.
I know.
Thank you, Jason and Matt. And Jason, I can't believe you're leaving us, but I guess if there's a war and there's a drone, you must be involved.
Mm-hmm. Thanks to Zazils the cat. Yeah, that's all I got.
And I think we should all go out with Zazzy hands. Are you ready? Let me get the mouse just right. All right.
1, 2, 3.
Zazzy!